Welcome back, everyone. In our last segment, we provided an overview of Remedyforce, discussed some of its critical capabilities, and took a look at some basic functionality. We talked about how Remedyforce is a 100% software-as-a-service-based solution, accessible from any internet-connected web browser, and is a configuration-based solution. In this segment, we're going to talk a little bit more about Remedyforce administration, how to make your Remedyforce environment look and feel like your own. Remedyforce is a codeless solution. What that means for administrators is they don't need to go in and have any coding knowledge in order to create new forms, fields, or workflows. Forms and fields within Remedyforce are completely configurable via point and click. Now, when we talk about administration of a solution, the first thing that comes to mind, or the first question that gets asked, is how easy is it to edit a form, add a new field, or create a workflow? First, let's take a look at high level what's available to us within the administration. You can see here, I've navigated over to my Remedyforce administration tab, and you can see a bunch of different options within my window here on how to administer the Remedyforce solution. I'm not going to talk about each and every one of these tabs, but I do want to cover off a couple of the major ones. So the first one that I want to discuss is the configure application. This is where you're going to define things like different categories that are available within your ticket, the impact and urgency and priority that are within your ticket, along with the different statuses that are available and request definitions and templates. So all of those things can be managed from within this configure application window, and everything's done through point and click administration. So let's take a look at our category tab and try and create a new category and see how easy that is. So you can see as I've gone through and clicked on our category window, we've now popped up with a new form that shows all the different categories that we have available to us within our environment. It also lists the parent categories that are related to those child category tickets that we can leverage. If I go through and click New, it's very simple to go through and create a new category. So you can see the category field is marked here by the asterisk. That's the only required field on this form. I can go through and populate that category, maybe with a new category that I require within my environment. And then if I want to, relate that to a parent category and populate some of the other fields that are listed here within my form for my category. You can see the different levels here, the parents that are available within my environment. I can go through and make this a child of anyone. I also have the option to decide where I want to make this ticket available, if I want to make it available for incident, service requests, or even display within self-service, so I can populate those checkboxes. Once I'm done, I'll go through and click Save, and that new category will be readily available in my environment wherever I've decided to make it available, whether it's available for incidents or service requests or even in self-service. Now let's go back to our home page and talk about some of the other tabs within administration. If we take a look down here, you'll see the Configure Self-Service tab. And that tab highlights all the different options that we have to be able to manage and configure our self-service portal for our end users. So any of the branding, the categorization, the fields, the forms, all that information is all going to be managed and maintained within this Configure Self-Service administration. And continuing down, let's take a look at our Manage Workflows and Approval Processes. This is where you're going to manage all those different approval processes, workflows that you have, any field updates that are going to be triggered based off of those workflows, or even email alerts that are going to be triggered off of it. Let's go through and take a look at one of our approval processes so you get the idea of how everything works within the workflows and approval process section. You can see as I've gone through and opened up that approval process, it brings me directly to my change request approval process. So I have a couple approval processes down here that you can see. I can manage approvals not only for change requests from here, but also for any object outlined within my environment. And that's all done through the point and click administration right here. Now, in terms of creating a new approval process, fairly straightforward. We leverage wizards within Remedyforce to go through and create an approval process. You can see my wizard process right here up at the top. in my little section up here, it outlines all of the different steps that are part of that wizard. You can go through and create your approval within minutes. No coding required or any type of custom work. It's all done through point and click with the wizard. Jumping back to our Remedyforce administration window, let's talk a little bit about our Manage Users section. This is where you're going to manage and maintain all of your users, whether they be self-service end users or agents or technicians. That's where you're going to manage the user profiles, the permissions, the accounts, what they have and don't have access to. Let's talk a little bit about Manage Objects. And this is the key one that a lot of customers ask about. Manage Objects is where you're going to take a look at your fields, your forms, and look at creating some of those fields and forms to meet your requirements. So maybe out of the box doesn't meet your requirements and you want to add a new field. Let's go and select the object that you want to add in. So in that case, I'm going to leverage the incident form. I'm going to go to Custom Fields and Relationships, and then I'm going to go through and take a look at all the different fields that are made available to me within this object. You can see all of the out-of-the-box fields are here. Any custom fields that I've created within my environment are also outlined within here. Some of these are available within the form, some of these are not. And that's just a simple form modification that we'll take a look at shortly. Now in terms of creating a new field, well, how easy is that to do? Well, we click on our new field, and again, everything within the Remedyforce solution from an administration standpoint is all wizard-driven for the most part. So we take a look at creating a new field. We have step one, select your field, and as we go through the different steps in here, we can decide what field it is, what the name of the category is, and continue going through the field. So let's back out of here and talk about how we can add fields to our forms. So I'm going to scroll down to our field sets, where you're going to see the different field sets that we offer within our console. So the field sets are where you define what fields you see within your form. So you can see all the different console ones listed here. This is what you're going to see within your form. And these are the different tabs that we offer within each of our forms. Now, if I want to add a field to one of these tabs, say the Incident Details tab, I can click Edit. You can see all the fields that are included within that form, and I can go through and I can drag and drop any field I would like into that form here, and those will then be added once I click that Save button. Now keep in mind, these will show up as left to right type of field. So the top field will show up on the left, the second field here will show up on the right-hand side of your screen, so on and so forth as you go down. So very simple to create new custom fields and add those custom fields to your forms. Jumping back to administration quick, there's one last thing I want to touch on before we wrap things up, and that's our integrations. So when we talk about integrations, we have many out-of-the-box integrations for Remedyforce. So some of those integrations include Active Directory or LDAP integration, so we can manage your users and user profiles via that type of integration, linking to your Active Directory accounts. We also have integrations for discovery solutions, things like BMC Client Management, BMC Atrium Discovery and Dependency Mapping, and then, of course, Microsoft SCCM. All of these are out-of-the-box integrations to help you leverage your environment the best. In addition to the simple point-and-click administration, BMC provides seamless upgrades for Remedyforce 3 times per year. Unlike any other ITSM solution in the marketplace today, these upgrades are performed by BMC and will eliminate those painful, tedious, costly upgrades other products require. You're probably wondering, how are these upgrades accomplished? Well, the Salesforce platform has a unique multi-tenant architecture that stores your data and configurations in metadata, not code. This gives vendors the ability to upgrade the software code while maintaining all your configurations and customizations within your environment. So you don't need to worry about upgrades. or recreating any workflows, forms, or fields as long as you're using the Remedyforce solution. Thank you for joining us today for our segment on Remedyforce administration, and I hope to see you again at our next segment where we will be covering dashboards and reporting and taking a deeper look into how to get the information back out of your Remedyforce solution.